Yeah. Um, yeah, the season was. Let's see. To reflect back on the season, it was weird. It was weird, really weird. Strange, really strange. But yeah, it was. There was a protest. Um, Struggling to get results right. Struggling to figure out things. Um, Having real unfortunate losses and giving up goals in strange ways. Deflections and things just not going our way. Um, Always having to claw back um, just to get back into a game, or at least try to be competitive, right, and not let the game just go out of reach. Um, yeah, um, but and then lots of injuries. Um, yeah, one by one, people started to go down. Um, Non-contact injuries, contact injuries, and starting players who can make differences, right? Those experienced players who are core group players, and then things get real. Um, yeah, get real tough. Let's say that. So given the way how things have been going, then you get uh, you know your core players go down, and then other guys have to step in. Um, but to be fair, everyone who stepped in, you know, was ready, tried to give it their all, given the circumstances. Um, but that weird, strange, giving up goals in weird ways, continued on. Um, but we never stopped battling, never stopped grinding, never stopped, you know, trying to get out of what we were in. Um, the effort was already always there, and I know everyone wanted the same thing, which was to turn this around. So I mean, it was strange, but real unfortunate. Um, it's I say strange because we had such a good group, such a good team, um, good people. We all wanted the same thing, which was to be competitive, to win, to lift trophies, and we all felt that this group was more than capable to do that, and it was just not happening, which was real strange. Um, Things just weren't clicking for some reason. Um, but even then, we were like we still grinded till the end. Um, so there's not really one thing I can say about this year, but it was a strange year. Yeah, I mean, real strange for sure.
I guess the only thing you can say, glad it's over.
It's over. You know, the guys upstairs will ultimately, make decisions, and to the best of their ability to get this group on the right track for next season, right? So, yeah, guys can clear their minds and get ready for what's to come next season. Yeah, yeah. There was a lot this year, man. Like protests, um, the window not being able to sign players. Um, I feel like, you know, they tried to do some moves upstairs. They tried within what they had, within what they can do, and yeah, we tried, given the circumstances of injuries and the ban of the transfer window, and then all the emotions and of everything, everything together. Right.
You've been with Greg for a while now. How do you think he sort of processes this season going into the offseason?
Yeah, I've been with him for a long time. I know how he works for the most part. He's really gonna dissect everything, inch by inch, player, what they contribute, what they bring on and off the field. If they have more to give, like little things like that. He's gonna, overall look at each player one by one and see how he can put together a team that can really gel together and, have the characteristics to fit each other into the style of play that he ultimately wants to see, right? So I feel like that'll be the way that he'll be looking at things, and along with that, I believe now they can make some moves out of the league. So they'll be looking to, add some people as well who can fit into that, and ultimately, you fit in well and can make a difference, right? Can be a game changer, So yeah.
Season like this oftentimes reflects a team that needs a turnover, needs a rebuilding.
Right.
You look at there are so many contexts to what happened as you laid out. And one of those contexts is that early on in when the season began, because of situation one, the ban, the $1 million fine, Grant Sears situation, you guys started without really wingers, which really kind of you weren't able to be at your best. The wingers you're bringing in are brand new. They're kind of finding itself. It takes a little while.
Right.
You guys aren't getting the goals that your performance probably deserves. Kind of puts you in a little bit of a hole, and then you just start losing people. It would certainly seem that with the understanding that there are going to be some players who depart and there's going to be new players coming in, that there's a core here that's capable of competing for a championship. Your thoughts?
Yeah. That's it's a really good diagnosis there. Yeah, for sure. There's definitely a core here who, like I said, that you can, a core group of players who definitely went down, but obviously they'll be back and healthy, and pick up where we left off, and with even more, they'll be hungrier than ever because they missed a large part of the season, and they'll definitely be excited to be back and excited to get on the field again and make a difference like they always do. But yeah. All of that was right on the spot. We were missing the wingers who can make a difference. Like Sam, he was quick. He can take people one-on-one. Can make the differences on his day. And then you had other people who came in within the season. Tyler came in before. Preseason. Took him some time to gel, but he adapted pretty quickly. To be fair, in all honesty, and it was a fresh breath of air, to know that a player like his caliber came into the team and fit into the group really well. Great guy, good to have around, and he was a great player. He is a great player. So yeah, yeah, I mean, we have a core group who the guys upstairs can definitely look at and, kind of, and build around. Um, and then you just got to add those pieces who can, complement and definitely hold down their part, you know. So,
Difficult season for you as well. Dealt with some injuries and some health things. When you look back on it, what I guess just describe your season and how do you feel in terms of getting ready for next year?
yeah. Injuries. I mean, yeah. I had the high ankle sprain. Turns out, after a few weeks and then getting reevaluated, it was not just a high ankle sprain, it was a high ankle sprain and a low ankle sprain. The reason why things were not getting better after some time. So I definitely a surprise to see that and hear that, because things were just not getting better as I felt when I was moving around on the field trying to come back. But luckily, I mean, in a way, I missed Leagues Cup. I don't think I missed any league games because of it. But yeah, improved from that, got better from that, and then I got the concussion, and then obviously missed the last 4 games, I believe, the last 4 games because of that, which was real unfortunate because I was just starting to feel like myself again, feel real good, and get into that, season form of like moving. Okay, my body's moving again. I'm feeling good. I can help, the back end. And really, when we were fighting to stay in, get a playoff position, I was feeling real good about myself that I can be a big key factor in that. But unfortunately, obviously, I got hit in the head in the Portland game, and definitely was seeing stars, and things were moving, and just obviously couldn't drive home. So I was definitely like, this is not normal. Things ain't right. So obviously contacted the medical team right away, and yeah, definitely concussion. And it was just unfortunate, really. Yeah. It didn't. Obviously, it was disappointing. It was disappointing. And yeah, after that, I let the team know right away that what happened and the diagnosis, and I feel a bit terrible. I won't be able to be with them in battle, right, for the rest of the season. So yeah, that was that. Yeah, but definitely an emotional season for sure. But even through that, just kept going, kept my head down, kept trying to be, a good teammate, a person who you can rely on the field in any way possible, wherever needed, whatever coach needed, whatever anybody needed. I was trying to, get back, get forward, shift, cover, whatever was needed. I definitely gave it my all. Yeah, I mean, overall, I feel like I only had those two injuries, but they were at key moments of the season for sure, which was gutting for sure for me.
Did you have a little dizziness earlier in the year?
The dizziness. I've had. I don't want to get too into that, but I've had a health issue for the past year and some months now. So, and this health issue has, I've been dealing with a lot. Yeah, don't want to get too into that.
But it's something that
It's ongoing.
kind of deal with.
Yeah, I have to deal with, for the rest of my life now, and kind of, yeah, yeah, but things are good. Things are good. I know how to manage it. I know how to control it. I know how to subside symptoms, and ultimately, I can play the game. I can train, and I can live life happily. So it's good. I mean, that's the part that was affecting me most. Just things off the field, right? So, but things are good. Things are getting better. Um, yeah, yeah. That's been an ongoing thing. So yeah.
Next, we'll go to Alex Ruiz.
Thank you so much for your time. I wanted to ask you, you mentioned about it earlier, the fan boycotts. How much did that affect you and your teammates at the start of the season? And I guess how much of an impact was it to kind of see the stands a bit emptier than usual?
Yeah, I mean, that was tough, man. That was tough. Like I said, that played an emotional part, and everything, right? Um, yeah, I mean, listen, from my standpoint, and my view, you kind of, you give everything for the club, right? And club's trying to supply you with everything possible to perform on the field and get results and be as supportive as possible, right? But you obviously have what's going on happening, and then you train so hard every week to come to the game and perform, and then when you come in, the support's not, it's not there, right? Usually that's part of the home advantage of having that support there and having that pressure on the other team. But that's an advantage for you because you have that extra push. You have, you, in a way, you and the home crowd are working together. Your supporters are working together to ultimately get this result right, and just overcome everything and push and get that result, get the goal. Then you get the momentum, and then you get into the other team's head, and then that's when things can happen, and then everything just shifts, right? But it wasn't like that, right? Yeah, crowd wasn't there. I mean, supporters weren't there. Obviously, they have their reasons. I'm not pointing fingers or anything at all. I'm just saying how I feel and my perspective on things. And yeah, it just wasn't there. And, teams came in and saw, an empty stadium. And we're just like, all right, this is just no pressure at all, right? Even though there was the battle happening on the field, and we were fighting, we were fighting and trying to get things going, but it just wasn't happening. So from, that side of things, that's kind of how I see it. Yeah, and it sucked. It sucked for sure. It sucked from a player's point of view. And then obviously they had their reasons, right? They had their reasons, but on the other side of that, you kind of leave us hanging, right? In some sort of way. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel on that. Yeah, that's just my perspective on that, and how I feel on that. Yeah,
Thank you, Mark.
yeah, no worries.
I'm just wondering, not so much a compare and contrast, but
So-
you've gone through, you were actually with USA during some of the difficult times there.
Right.
How is it different? How is this different than that? The biggest ways, I would say, because I mean, one of the things that strikes out to me is that the clubs are in different places.
Yeah, I mean, from that point of view, I feel like I was too young to compare anything with Chivas. Yeah, I don't see a real comparison there. It doesn't go together.
The records are similar, but the teams are very different.
Very different, yeah. Record. I guess you can, if you want to compare it like that, yeah. But yeah, like I said, we have a good team, really good team, and things just weren't working out. It was, like I said, very weird, very strange, and just very unfortunate. And trust, by the end of it, everybody was, man, ran to the ground. Right, we gave everything, even though it may not seem like it on the pitch and results, but man, we were giving everything we could. You know, we were, even if guys were banged up, had some injuries, man, you know, we didn't want to leave any what ifs or anything on the field, or just, you know, in our minds. And, you know, we can't live with that. So we would, you know, every single person would do their best to be on the field, push through any type of pain or anything like that. And unfortunately, you know, injuries came along with that. You know, so yeah, very unfortunate.
All right, thanks for your time, Mark.